Welcome to Dinger Diary. This is the fabulously fantastic episode number 6. Today I'm going to talk to you about the misinformation you may be hearing about college baseball scholarships. This is something you're going to want to hear. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Caution. The information I'm going to give you today is a guide. Some of the recruiting and scholarship rules have changed since COVID, but the premise is the same. So you're going to get the idea. So when my son was going through the recruiting process in high school, we had no idea how it worked. What helped us was that he was at a high school that had a high number of athletes being recruited at every level. So I would talk to the players and the parents about the experiences they were going through, and then I started to do my own research. At that time, what was most important to me was the money. How much money was a college baseball program willing to supplement the cost our family was going to incur? I use the word supplement because that's what a scholarship it is. It is only a supplement to all of your college expenses. My son was being recruited by some D3 schools, and we found out real quick that they couldn't provide a single dollar of scholarship money, not only to my son, but to any player on the team. D3 schools don't offer baseball scholarships at all. Oh, and if your kid is real smart and wants to go to an Ivy League school, none of them offer baseball scholarships either. Who knew? After many discussions with parents, players, and coaches, I quickly realized that there were almost no full-ride baseball scholarships ever offered by any colleges in America. If your son is going to college on a baseball scholarship, chances are the parents or the player are going to have to pay a substantial portion of the annual bill. Now, when I say full ride, I'm talking about tuition, books, fees, housing, and food. I can't tell you over the years how many people have bragged to me about the full ride baseball scholarship their kid got. I just don't have the heart to tell a parent or a player that I know there's no such thing as a full ride baseball scholarship. They only exist for an extremely select group of players that are probably getting drafted to the MLB in the first few rounds, and those kids aren't going to college anyway. There are approximately 500,000 high school baseball players in the United States, while only 11,000 players are listed on any D1 roster in college. So the overall likelihood of a high school baseball player making a D1 roster is about 2% or 1 in 50. The odds can vary from state to state. Overall, between NCAA schools, NAIA schools, and junior colleges, there are just over 1,650 baseball programs with roughly 34,000 total college baseball players in the country. The competition for the roughly 5,400 total scholarships is fierce. Baseball is an equivalency sport, which means that scholarships can be divided up and given to multiple players on the same team. D1 baseball schools only have 11.7 scholarships to give out on a 35 or 40 man roster. They can divide one scholarship up amongst multiple players. So one 20,000 scholarship can be divided by 4 players, each player receiving $5,000. However, only 30 players max on a 35 or 40 man roster can receive some of the scholarship money. This means that 5 or 10 players aren't receiving any money at all. These numbers vary by D1, D2, D3, NAIA, and JUCO schools, and you can go look those up if you want. The good news is colleges can get very creative with Pell Grants, other academic scholarships, and of course loans to help reduce the burden of the expense of the college tuition, and they do this quite often. Another misconception is that your scholarship is for all 4 years. That is false. Almost every baseball scholarship is year to year. Some of the saddest days are seeing players who went away last year on a baseball scholarship back home the following year, no longer playing baseball because their scholarship was pulled. It happens every day. I even heard one recruiter tell a kid his job was to replace the kid every year with a better player. You have to earn your scholarship every single year, and every single year your college coach can decrease or increase the amount of money you receive. If finances are important to you, and I assume they are, you'll need to decide who is willing to give the most money. The difference can be significant, but don't be fooled. For instance, annual tuition to play baseball at the University of Miami is about $60,000. If you're only offered a scholarship for $30,000, you'll still need to come up with $30,000 every single year on your own. On the other hand, Florida Atlantic University is $25,000 a year. If you get $15,000 to play baseball, you'll only need to come up with $10,000 a year. On the surface, it looks like UM is giving you more money, but it's a facade. At FAU, my alma mater, you'll still play Division I baseball, you'll still get a great education, you'll still get to live in sunny South Florida, and you'll save close to $100,000 over the 4 years. Go Owls. Don't let the numbers fool you. Do your homework. JUCO is another route. The benefits to playing at the junior college level is the money you can save, and there are way more scholarships available, 24 instead of 11.7. And if you're really good, you can get drafted earlier than if you went to a four-year school. So don't knock it. It's not just your baseball skills that determine your scholarship eligibility. Your grades, your high school class selection, your ACT and SAT scores also determine your eligibility. For instance, to be eligible for a D1 baseball scholarship, you must maintain a 2.3 grade point average and have a very specific course load requirement in high school. However, if you ask most D1 coaches, unless you are an absolute superstar, they are not going to take you with a 2.3 grade point average, probably not even a 2.5. The coach will not waste a scholarship on you if there's any chance that they don't believe you can handle the course load at the college level. They are going to find someone with similar baseball skills to yours with a better chance of succeeding in the college courses based on their test scores and their GPA. Plan for baseball accordingly. There's a 99.9% chance your son will not receive a full athletic scholarship to play baseball at any university in this country. He or you, the parents, will be responsible for a substantial amount of the money to pay for his baseball experience at any college. Start putting away money now. Be sure to get really good grades so you can supplement that cost with other academic scholarships. And if all else fails, do what everyone else does and just apply for student loans and be in debt the rest of your natural life. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on YouTube and the follow button on Instagram. I hope you'll tune in next time. That's it for now. I'll see you next time on Danger Diary.